All right, so here in our test file, we're going to add another test suite for writing all the tests for this endpoint. So get to this endpoint with the ID parameter. Okay, now here's the first test. This endpoint should return a genre if valid ID is passed. Now, similar to our last test, we need to populate our genres collection. We can either go borrow some code from there, which basically means populate the genres collection with 2 genres, or we can add only a single genre for this test. Because in this test, we want to make sure that if we have a genre with the given ID, we can read it in the response. We don't really need 2 genres. So let's keep it simple. I'm going to create a genre. We set this to a new genre. Set the name here to genre 1. And then save it. As you know, this returns a promise, so we await it and mark this as async. Now, we need to call our endpoint. So we call request, pass the server object, call the get method, and the endpoint is /API/genres, and then we append genre._ID. So we pass genre.ID. Now this returns a promise, so we await it and get the response and store it here. Finally, we can write an expectation like this. Expect response.status to be 200. We also want to make sure that we have this genre in the body of the response. So expect response.body to match object, and we pass this genre here. Now, if we run this test, it's going to fail. Let's see why. Here is the reason. We expected the underline ID to be an object ID, but we received a string. This is one of the issues we have when writing integration tests for Mongoose models. Because when we store this genre in the database, Mongoose assigns the ID property and sets it to an object ID. But when we read this object from the database, the ID will be a string. So we can rewrite this last expectation to something like this. We expect this object in the body of the response to have property. The name of that property should be name, and the value should be genre.name. Save. Back in the terminal. All tests are passing. In the next lecture, we'll write the second integration test for this endpoint.